Welcome to Nerdsplaining Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Da Silva. With me, as always, my co-host, Jose Romero.
Greetings and salutations, nerds around the world. Working through some technical issues here, using some Zoom. We're trying to figure some stuff out. Whatever.
As the world changed, we change along with it.
We change along with it. Transition, yada, yada, yada. It's going to be a very slow week, and all of a sudden, a bunch of chairs popped up, and for some reason, we should be excited, I guess, right?
We should be excited because we can read. And for those who can't read, you have Nerdsplaining to tell you.
That's correct, of course. I guess big news, whatever, the reveal of cast members of the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. We'll get into that. There's a long Marvel show today. So we want to start, before we get all that, because we want to kind of chomp at the bit, talk about that in more specifics, and, who's missing on the list, who, maybe might be on the list, that's hidden, who knows, maybe. But we got to talk some Daredevil. We got 2 episodes that dropped this week. We thought it may be for a reason, and it isn't. Just dropping to whatever, not the end of the world, but I figured it might be, cliffhanger kind of thing, but no, it's 2 separate episodes. So look, dropping 2, we've been liking the show, right? We haven't been loving it, like, oh my god, but it's been good and entertaining, right? It's got some issues and stuff, and it's kind of a mixed bag with these, for me, if it's the 2, particularly with episode 5, right? Yeah,
5 and 6 for came out, yeah.
5 felt like it didn't belong at times with the rest of the show.
It's funny you say that, by the way, because the showrunner came out and said episode 5 was the one episode they did no changes on. It was an actual episode from the original 6.
And that's what it felt like, right? Like it was something along those lines. It wasn't a bad episode, I guess. But
I say choreography-wise, really impressive.
Yeah, it was cool, but it was just, you could have not seen it and missed nothing.
Oh, yeah, right? Absolutely. It didn't add anything to the story. It felt like, if you read comics, they would have these they would have like a done in one, a one-off, which is like just a one-issue contained adventure. This would have felt like, because like, hey, we need to have space things out, and we couldn't figure out a way to make this story either longer or shorter, so we put it here to kind of carry over the hump. And budget-wise, if it's already working enough, just let it go, man, because you're trying to save money. You're spending so much money, you got to make things work. I understand.
They could have just taken us off and given us 8 episodes instead of 9, right? I guess it was a weird episode. It didn't seem like it was filler. Was that the best word?
It was it. It was a done in one. It was classic superhero stops a bank robbery. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 did it.
I guess I can't say I'm happy about it just because I wanted to advance the story, and this is a series that's different than that comic, so it was kind of weird. It was really weird. I didn't hate it, but at the same time, it's hard to like it because I just don't know what was the purpose of the whole thing, right?
You can definitely tell episode 4 when Matt was defending the robber. This toy connects to that because they're really extending out into the Marvel universe. Talking about Skrulls, now you got the Miss Marvel connection. Like they're really, hey, we're all part of it. And I get it. It's totally cool, but it's sort of like it's as much as I enjoyed it. It definitely had a, hey, Mom, look what I can do.
It was really weird. And I'll spend too much this episode because there's not a whole to talk about as it pertains to the whole story, right? But I don't. Maybe it's just me, or maybe I forget how in the original series, or this is how it is in the comics. I don't know. But that hearing that he has is just. They stretch that because the scene where he's downstairs in the basement of a bank, right by the vault, inside the vault, so it's probably soundproof to some degree. And he could hear all the way up top, all the way outside. The cops say they're gonna go into it. It just seemed a little bit of a stretch. I'm like,
I gotta tell you, the comics. He has a 10-mile or 10-block radius in New York, a 10-block radius that he can pick up. So it's
in the original series. I don't remember. Maybe it was, and I'm just.
Yeah, if you remember in the very first episode, when he's hanging at the very end of it, when he's hanging on top of the roof, he hears a kid getting kidnapped from like blocks away through the city. He hears "Daddy" and so like if he could do that across the city, then he could hear people force. Yeah, it's very much still with. No, that was not an extension of disbelief at all. I was like, actually, it's kind of quieter because it's already in the building.
Oh, fair enough. Like I said, it was a minor thing, but it's kind of funny. But yeah, so it wasn't a whole lot to talk about. So let's focus on the second episode, the sixth one, which really kind of got things moving in terms of the story.
Yes. Right?
Yeah. Definitely better, I thought. Good episode. I like the way it did. And again,
Finally in the suit. Finally in the
finally
suit.
seeing the suit. We got Muse coming in, who seems okay, I guess. I don't know what to think of him yet. It didn't seem like he's that much of a threat in the
Well,
grand
here's the
scheme of
thing.
things.
In the comics, what makes him a threat, obviously serial killer, Banksy kind of inspired artist. Almost and very much, if you think about it, when I first heard about the character Muse and I started reading about him, I was like, which he was created by the writer Charles Soule and designed by Ron Garney. Uh, when I was reading it, I was like, a homicidal artist, isn't that what Jack Nicholson said he was in Batman? I'm the world's first fully functional
That's
homicidal
right. Yeah,
artist.
that's
I
fine.
make art till someone dies. Like it's like literally that is what the Muse is. Now the whole thing with the epoxy and the chemicals, I thought that was a fun twist. I was like, you can't just
Oh,
spray paint, spray or pressure wash his artwork away. I thought it was really cool. But here's the thing: in the comics, Muse, I believe, is an Inhuman, and his
okay.
power is to be undetected, which is why he can get away with putting the graffiti everywhere.
What do
And
you mean?
also,
That people can see him?
people don't know, like it's almost like they willingly don't pay attention to him. Like
Okay.
but because of that, Daredevil can't sense him either. His radar
Oh,
sense doesn't work.
okay.
And I was like, how are they going to do that? And they didn't. Maybe there's still going to be a bigger reveal to it. But that's what made the Muse such an interesting villain for Daredevil. Is like he couldn't pick up the heartbeat, the motion, anything.
See, that would have been interesting, right?
Right?
Because right now, it doesn't seem like he's just another guy,
He just
right?
seems like a serial killer, like
Right,
a costume serial killer.
right, exactly. So it's like, okay, this is the big bad of the series. I guess he is, but I don't know. It just seemed like it didn't. They didn't go dark enough with it. After
I
all,
mean,
they kind
60
of.
people.
I
That's
mean,
come on.
but it was fun when they had some the painter guy, whatever the removal painter guy, talk about it, he's cracking jokes. So, oh, by the way, it cooks his blood. No, who cares? Let me tell my joke. It was
Well, you
just
know
really
what? I will
weird.
say,
It's odd.
if
It's
you
odd.
lived in New York and you ever talked to a garbage dude, they are really interested in the specifics, not about
Oh
yeah.
no,
And
I
your
mean,
body, blah blah blah. Did you hear about how he? It's
I'm not
great.
saying it's not realistic. I'm just saying it's off-putting, right? Because
Yeah,
you want to create that serial killer vibe, like, oh snap, there's blood, and then you just got like a jokey. This is what Marvel does, and then by the way, it's blood and kills people down. Who cares? And let's move on. Next joke.
well, it was for him, but everyone else took it serious. Once that,
I
it was
guess
just the
it was just a
intro
weird
to it. But
way to bring it about. It's like, I don't know. Is that the show's not going dark enough as I would like it to? Because that's effed up. It's 60 people. That's a big
60
deal,
feet, yeah,
right? And
yeah.
and it's like, I don't know. It's just the King's
Which to
rushed over.
me, which to me it worked when they were having that debate about how to address the serial killer, and Fisk says, "You tell the people in New York that the cops missed 60 people." I was like, "That's a great
Yeah,
like shut up. I'm taking care of this right now."
right. Which
And
leads to the
with
recruiting
the
of
task force, right?
yeah, task
Yeah,
force. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Which is fine. I enjoyed that. Let me say it was solid. I don't know. Just something about the show. It hasn't quite hit that high note yet. And I'm kind of waiting for it. I talked to my friend who told me by episode 4 or 5 things pick up. I was like, "You lied, didn't."
Well, he
He's
gets in
like,
costume, so
well,
maybe
he's
that's a
like,
pickup.
he clarified. He said, what happens like it's not as earned as he would like to have seen, but it says 8 and 9 are really good, right?
Okay. Okay. So
But it's
they stick the landing. They stick the
they
landing.
stick the landing, but he said it should have been better because it just things weren't set up as well in his first 6 7 episodes,
Well,
right?
I'm giving this season a
Because
lot of leeway
we're
because
three
of
in, right? The three left, which is kind of
three.
concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and by the way, for Daredevil fans, and totally forgot to bring this up to you. They've already started leaking or posting photos of season 2 being taped right now.
Mm.
And one of the things in that they put is that Daredevil's got a black costume with the double D on his chest,
Oh, that's cool.
and that costume plays into 3 times in Daredevil's life. It's the black armor, which is when he starts going a little more hardcore. It's when he takes over the Hand as part of the Shadowlands story, and then it's the Charles Soule run where he's sort of like going a little bit grittier.
Okay.
And he actually adopts a partner, not a sidekick, a partner called Blind Spot. And during that phase is when they introduce Muse anyway. So I don't know what that costume has to signify to what's going on here, but I feel like if you're going to have that costume shift, whatever's happening here is going to imply either way. Whenever Daredevil does a black version costume, things do get darker. So with him being in that dark costume, I feel like you're gonna get what you wanted out of this season. But also, once again, because of the whole rigmarole of changing it, reproducing, and Frankenstein a bunch of episodes, I'm giving this episode a lot of mulligans along the way, just because that's what it is. It's not this is not a pure episode. This is a recontextualized episode season. This is a
It could,
recontextualized season.
right? It'd be probably the case, but I mean, this is what they're giving us. We gotta judge it by that. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. It just seems like we could have done 4 episodes and got to the same point now. For
Yeah.
the most part. So it's really weird. I don't know. It's like it's still good. I'm still enjoying it, but it's just not where it needs to be. I got a feeling we're not going to see Punisher again.
I think you are. I think he's going to be in the last episodes.
And then Bullseye. I thought we were going to get more of them. I don't know if that's the case anymore.
I feel like
because he'll feel like he'd be shoehorned. We got 3 episodes left. He's going to escape prison.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Right?
I'm going to make a prediction because Fisk has set up the task force with Muse now on the run, and I'm sure Daredevil will leak the Muse's hideout to the police. The task force is going to rev up hard, and they're going to be going after Muse and killing innocent people along the way. That's going to cause a problem because they got no body cams. They have literally no jurisdiction except for Fisk. So there's going to be a lot of collateral damage. Because when Frank sees that these guys are using his logo on themselves, and I think they're going
to. You're talking about Frank.
Frank Castle, right?
I was talking about the Bullseye for a second.
No. Well, here I'm going to explain. Because it's going to be this whole situation where they're going out of control. Frank, Punisher, and Daredevil team up to take the cops down, but Muse is still going to be on the loose, and that's when Kingpin is going to bring Bullseye in and goes, you're going to be almost like in the comic books if they had a team called the Thunderbolts, where they would take supervillains and send them on like danger missions, black op missions, wet work assignments. They're going to send Bullseye in to go like, you get out, you take down Muse, and take out Daredevil along the way, Daredevil and Punisher along the way. So it's going to be a 4-way fight between these 4 characters. And I think in the crux of it, Bullseye is going to end up betraying Kingpin and killing Vanessa. That's my big call.
Yeah, so no, that's going to happen apparently. Every time you call it never happens. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm afraid I don't want to do too much in the last 3 episodes, cramming a lot of stuff. Because we still got. I mean, it kind of went away from it. The whole Kingpin and Vanessa angle and that's the therapist.
I think it's building up because like you had that dude come up and tell Kingpin he wasn't going to pay.
Like I don't know what they're gonna do with her really, because he was there. Now it's she's writing a book, and now it's like, oh, let's keep psychiatrists. They have that code of ethics. Might be not the right term, but they can't talk about the patients or whatever.
Like they have like a privilege, like client privilege.
Yeah, there you go. Kind of like an attorney, which goes back to even Mike Murdock can having the same kind of privilege with his clients, and she's asking him, hey, the Punisher, he knows it. It's just weird that she's asking him to do that. It just doesn't. It's weird. Every time they talk, there's no conflict brewing anything at all.
I think this whole secondary book with Vigilantes is going to be the thing that's going to build up the conflict, because I feel like what's going to happen is after Daredevil is exhausted, he comes home and she finds him in the costume. I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to be exhausted. He's like, I did it. I saved the day. It's not perfect, but it got done. I need to be better, but right now I'm just going to catch my breath, and that's when she walks in.
But then you have to fit in the whole thing afterwards. It's like I just know where she is placed. We got 3 episodes left. There's no time for any of this stuff. Right?
There's plenty of time. There's plenty of time for that.
There's 2 episodes. The last episode is resolution. So we're not going to spend the last episode, I found out. Let's have that discussion about nobody wants to see on the last episode, right? It's the 3rd act. So you got 2 episodes, right? Muse is going to take a big part. Kingpin takes a big part. And Daredevil. There's not a lot of room for all these little sideshow shit.
I think you can.
And then we're throwing in. You can't. It's just.
I mean, listen.
As a writer, 3 episodes left. You got 2 episodes left, and you have to 2 episodes. You have to set up nothing that discussion you're talking about sets up the finale. It just doesn't. It has nothing to do with nothing. It's a separate issue that should have been ongoing before we can get to this point. You have 2 episodes. If you want to put in Frank Castle, fair enough. So then you got, we talk about having too many characters in a certain movie. you got 3 episodes, 40 minutes apiece, and you want to cram in 25 characters. It just can't happen.
It'll be 6 characters. Six
It's
characters
not going to happen.
in three, but it's gonna be 6 characters. If you think about it, in like an hour and 45 minutes, you can make that work.
No,
Almost 2 hours.
it's not because you got 2 episodes.
Three,
The third one's
7, 8, 9.
Resolution is third episode. Third act. That's no time.
You're leaving like the last 5 minutes is your resolution.
No, the fact is resolution. This will be the worst show ever done in Marvel history. It just is. It's not going to. You and I both know it's not going to be talk. 5 minutes. Oh, quick fight scene. Credits.
No, I disagree. I think it's going to be fight, talk, resolution at the end. That's what I think.
But the resolution has nothing to do with her writing a book, is what I'm saying. It's too late to introduce that now.
The book is going to be a cliffhanger for season 2.
If that's a cliffhanger, the worst show of all time. Because the last thing, I can't wait till she brings up that book next season. It just
you're misunderstanding.
I get what you're saying. That should never be set up for next season. I
think it should, because she's thinking about writing a book of vigilantes and she realizes her boyfriend is a vigilante. How does that change the dynamic? How does that affect what she's going to do with the book? Like these are her personal adventures now due to what Matt is doing with his life.
We spent 5 minutes with her. She's a useless character. You could really write her. He had more chemistry with that lawyer who's trying to hook up with. It seemed like. Let's be honest. She really did. He was kind of flirting with her.
Yeah.
That had more heat there than he's had heat with his other girl. She's useless, and there's no time to give time to a useless character who's done nothing on show but be a therapist for like 2 seconds, with another storyline which is not going to resolve getting any kind of satisfaction in this season.
Well, I don't think she's a done in one character this season. I think they're building her up so she has more impact this season.
She might have impact later on, but the stuff they're introducing now is the stuff they should be tackling now, not waiting till next season.
I think there's laying groundwork for her. I think the main thing is the new world of Daredevil. That's what you're really tackling.
No, Vanessa and Kingpin are having issues now. This is what you tackle. You can't introduce that at the beginning of the season, right?
Right.
And then forget about it and say we'll come back in season 2. It's just bad writing. It's not what you do. It's not. It's Doomsday. We're going to introduce Doctor Doom in the first act, and we'll bring him back in the Secret Wars. That's never going to work. It's never going to work. That's the story. There's 2 main storylines: Kingpin and Daredevil. This is what the show's about. Want to hit the dualities of all this stuff, and that directly affects Vanessa, right? Because that's part of it. And if she were to try to bring him out, he's saying, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to do that." And trying to toe that line. That's conflict.
Right.
That's missing, and they've kind of begun to address it, and they've forgotten about it. Now you're gonna wait till the end to do it. It's not gonna work. And that's my fear. It's like they brought all this stuff that's just what was the point? So I'm saying this could have been episode 1 of the show. It really could have been episode 1. This last episode, if you want. Maybe the very first one, the intro one, and this one. Hey, what's the difference? Nothing. You know he wasn't Daredevil. He's struggling with that. I don't need 8 episodes to tell me he's struggling. I get it. I don't need 4 hours to tell me he's struggling with the mask. I understand. I don't need 8 episodes to tell me Kingpin does the duality. We should know from the get-go. And it's just kind of dragging his feet with that. And that's why the impact is not quite there. We're getting this sideshow characters, meaningless. Who cares? It's just not. Even episode with Punisher. If there's no Punisher moving forward, that was a total waste of time.
I think this Punisher moving forward.
But if he's not in the season, it's a waste of time.
But that's why he is going to be in the season. I totally. But I mean, we saw set photos of him as the Punisher on the set, so he's clearly going to be in it. It's like shaved, so clearly
he was in it, and then episodes ago, he was in it. I'm just saying it's kind of messy how they're approaching the show, and it could be because the rewrites and all that. It's just things aren't quite working out.
I feel like this season might surprise you on what it does, because if you think about it, if you watch Invincible, there's a lot that happens in a single episode with multiple moving characters. So if they could pull it off in Invincible, I feel like they could pull it off.
I would agree if this show started off like Invincible.
But once again, it is a Frankenstein of a season.
That's the point, right? The season's been kind of a little bit messy as a result of all the issues.
But what I'm saying is, you can pull it off. You can do that. That structure is totally available to it, and that's why I believe it can be pulled off. Because as we get closer and closer to like the pure episodes, that the new showrunner, it's getting better. So like I am a big fan of the 2 seasons of Punisher. So I'm like, I feel like this guy can handle it, because you can lay the groundwork and then make it culminate in 3 episodes really easy. You just do action, and like I said, the last 5-15 minutes is your resolutions and your cliffhangers. That's it.
There's nothing to resolve because they haven't really done anything. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
I feel, but I feel like you
even introducing Muse this late in the game, you're introducing your main villain episode 6. That's not the best way to approach that. Is what I'm saying, right? This is why this is episode 1. Okay, we established the villain, right? We got the duality issues with both Kingpin and all that. Perfect, and let's get the ground running, right? But it's taken 6 episodes to get to this point where this could have been the second episode. At the end of the day, right? So
I mean, if you think about it, the only
why waste time with all this nonsense? It's like, what's the point, right? Even the White Tiger, you could literally taken it off. Nothing really would have changed. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's a lot of stuff in there. Just we're wasting time with this stuff that's not going to pay off with this other stuff they introduced and not doing anything with. At least they resolved White Tiger. He died. Fair enough. But the rest is still ongoing, and now we wasted time with White Tiger. Do we really need that ultimately? No, the guy they stole the candy, really, the bank. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that's like, what are we doing with this? A lot of filler stuff that's not going to pay off at the show, and it has no bearing on what the show should be focusing on. That's my complaint, right? They set up. I wish they. That's something I want to see dig deep into this stuff, and they're not doing that. That's the problem.
The only way I can see this problem being resolved is they should have released episode 5 as like a digital exclusive before the whole season started to kind of show like this is the day in the life of Daredevil, kind of thing. And then you would have done episode 1 the way it is. You get 2, 3, 4, and then this would have been 5, and then you had 4 episodes to get what you wanted to do. That could have been.
And that's fine. I said they're still doing 10 episodes, right? If that's the case.
Right.
Fair enough, right? Yeah. I'm fine with that. No doubt. But with 3 left, with really 2, it gets tough. That's what I'm saying.
You got 3? No, there's 3. There's 3 episodes left.
But the thorough resolution in terms of that.
Once again, I feel like you're giving a lot of emphasis on resolution, and I feel like part of the resolution is a fight scene, a big fight scene as well.
Well, just resolving all the conflicts that established.
Yeah.
You can't carry over all this kind of stuff to new seasons. It just doesn't work like that.
But once again, I'm deferring back to Invincible. They will do a fight, and then the last 15 minutes is all resolution. So do the same thing.
But they spent the first 6 episodes building up those things that need to be resolved, right? And it can wrap up really nicely. Here they haven't done that, right? They just introduced them, but they haven't done anything with them.
Well, here's the things that are going to be resolved. You have the Muse situation, obviously the corrupt cop situation, the marriage, the issues with Fisk's marriage, those, and then but Murdoch accepting his role as Daredevil. Those are the 4 big things you need to resolve. You can resolve that in 3 episodes, easy. With action.
That's a lot. But I like a concise story. I don't need 10 episodes to give me 4 storylines. That's 6 episodes.
But once again, I'm giving the season a lot of leeway because of Morgan.
I give it leeway, but we can't forgive the sins that it's causing as a result of it. That's what I'm saying.
But you got to take it in context. It's not a pure sin. It is a sin. It's a circumstantial sin. It's not a sin of intent.
They created the shitty episodes that they wanted to then jettison. So
they did what they could with the money and time they had. I give a lot of leeway to it.
It's on them. I can't say that the hell is trouble. They created that problem, right?
Fair.
Having a shitty show before.
Right. They should have been tighter with the project before they started. I get it.
Captain America sucks because of the rewrites. Well, they should have gotten to that point. That's what I'm saying, right?
I get in that sense, you are right. And I hate saying you're right, but I'll give you. Based on this argument, I'll give you sway at it. But that all being said, it's also very possible to still stick the landing what you wanted.
I think Impact, when it gets some good impact, we'll see what they do with the next 3 episodes. But listen, like I said, it's still a good show. It's just not a great show for whatever it is. I really want a great Daredevil show.
If every episode gives me the visceral impact of seeing Matt flip in the air and break that dude's leg, I'm in.
I'm sure we'll get more last time. I would assume they are.
So you give me one of those per episode, I'm going to forgive a lot.
And that's fair. I'm sure we'll get to see that. Like I said, the last 2 episodes were the big impact ones.
Right.
Fair enough. Either way, stick with Marvel. We had that, a lot of nerds getting excited yesterday. I'm bored, I guess. I don't know. Depends who you ask.
The chair reveals.
The chair reveal, which we'll focus on what the content, not how it was. Let's be honest, it was a really bad way to do it.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say Screen Rant. Shout out to Screen Rant. They had a really good. They had a really good take on the reveals, which is for regular people who can only check in every once in a while. That was a fun reveal. for people who have to do this as a job, worst thing ever.
Well,
So you gotta take it. You know,
I'm
like
sure a lot of things. It just seems like excessive and dull. I don't know. They could have just really all the names, and I think would have gotten the same kind of buzz, right?
I'll tell you what. I
It
was
was
so
odd.
busy. I
It
was
was odd.
so busy yesterday. I didn't see the reveal until everything was revealed. So I got it all at once. I go, oh, that's cool. Like I
Well,
didn't.
I
And then
started.
I'm like, really? You guys have been doing this all day? That's
That's what I'm
weird. Like,
saying, and there's people watching, and just like, well, what are you guys doing here? I mean, come
yeah.
on, guys. You can spend better 6 hours and looking at you. Seriously, just saying. But the content and stuff. So we got what 30 some names. I lost the count.
I lost the count. I thought it was like
But
25, but I could be wrong.
25, 30, whatever it is. The real. It's a lot. Obviously, not a lot of surprises, right?
I mean, a few like Namor
A
definitely in.
couple.
That was cool.
Namor was in. I mean, Thunderbolts. We knew. I mean, now no one dies.
But the Sentry,
all the stakes of Thunderbolts is out the window, which is a shame.
but we
Survives.
definitely know that Taskmaster died. That we know for sure.
The one character nobody cared about.
But the Sentry, my boy Sentry's in there. Super excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. But so that was interesting. But the biggest thing, just for sake of time, is really the X-Men, right?
Yeah.
That's the stuff that I guess like, oh, okay. Like Xavier, Magneto, of course, Ian McKellen, sort of Patrick Stewart. We got Kelsey Grammer, which we saw. I guess he's not a big surprise.
Sure.
Gambit was kind of I think Gambit
that was
the biggest
fun.
Surprise.
Yeah.
That was the biggest surprise, really.
Yeah.
Rebecca Romaine Stamos, or Rebecca Romaine, whatever.
Yeah.
And this guy, Nightcrawler.
Alan Cummings.
That was really the big piece. Martian.
Martian, yeah. Shout out to Mar. But no Haley Berry.
Yeah, surprised when Halle Berry was in there. I was thinking, oh, we're gonna get some Hugh Jackman. He was not announced. I'm like, okay, whatever. I forget what are the old X-Men that I'm missing. I don't even know.
I mean, really, that's the only ones you can really. I mean,
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey, yeah, and the kid who played Iceman. I could go either way on that.
But fine. Rogue, she was a big part of that.
Clearly, clearly Rogue. Not so much Shadowcat though. You can't really do Shadowcat.
No. So it was interesting to see that. I mean, look, it's a lot of characters, and it's not a lot of OGs. We got Chris Hemsworth, one of the OGs, and I think that's all as far as the OGs.
But here's the thing that I thought was weird is that they've confirmed that Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson are coming back. Names not revealed. Variety confirmed that both of them signed on to be in this. Names not revealed, which means that a lot of the characters from the OG that was not revealed is going to end up becoming part of Doctor Doom's evil Avengers. So you're seeing all the heroes, not the villains. So you're going to see Chris Evans as Captain Hydra. You're going to see Scarlett Johansson as Red Widow. I think you're even going to see, what's his name, playing Maestro Hulk instead of regular Hulk.
So they're not doing, well, Scarlett Johansson's not going to be in this movie. You can, whatever Rarity says, I promise you right now, she is not involved in this project.
You don't think so?
At all.
I think you're going to see. I have a feeling.
Not involved.
No, I didn't say Wanda.
I know what I'm saying. If people are throwing it out, Benedict Cumberbatch said he wasn't going to be in this one. He's going to be in the next one. So he's actually.
And then he said he was, and so it's very. I feel like
he said like one thing. He said he was going to be in the second film. I think everyone's going to be in the second film.
I think everyone's going to be in the second film, and I think that a lot of the characters you're going to see here are going to die. A lot of these people are going to die.
Really? Like what? Namor, Black Panther? No.
Oh yeah, I feel because remember the universe is going to be ending, so you're going to see a lot of these people get wiped out, and then you're going to see versions like they're going to be varying versions when they do Secret Wars because when they do the soft reboot, those who stay will be the new version of themselves, not the OG versions of themselves. So I think you're going to see some people straight up die only to get redesigned or recast post like in the last.
You mean recast? So the actor's out.
Certain actors, I think, will be out. Like, clearly, all the original X-Men are going to be out, so we're probably going to see...
Well, we know the X-Men. I mean, I was kind of conflicted about that, to be honest with you.
I kind of wanted to see Fassbender as Magneto in this movie.
I'd rather seen them McAvoy. Because, I think Deadpool did a good job of kind of giving the Fox property a good send-off.
Yeah.
Right? And now you can undermine that by bringing them back again. I don't think you need to do that. I mean, I got a feeling... All these people we're seeing, they're going to be like in the movie for like 2 minutes.
I don't know about that because here's the thing.
Not all of it, but I'm saying like
when Marvel was getting ready to do Secret Wars, one of the storylines they did was the Marvel Universe versus the Ultimate Universe, right? So I think what's going to happen is that everyone that we know from the 616 movie verse is going to go up against the Fox verse. And then I think that in the middle of that fight, you're going to get the 838 universe, which is the universe that Wanda destroyed. So that's where we're going to get other versions of characters that we have seen or not seen. And then people, as the universe gets destroyed by Doctor Doom, people are going to start dying because that's what happens in Secret Wars. Everyone in the universe dies except for a small group of heroes who escape in Mr. Fantastic's pod and a small group of villains who escape in a separate pod. And then they both crash land on Doctor Doom's battle world, which I think is going to be, for all intents and purposes, a TVA's Void. I think that's what's going to, he's going to build the universe around that. So I think that we're going to see heroes die, and then you're going to see the whole new cast in the post-credit scene of this, and we're going to get the Andrew Garfields, the Ryan Reynolds, the Hugh Jackmans, the Tom Hollands, the Doctor. I think that's going to be that.
Yeah, that was a name I'm surprised we didn't hear Tom Holland, but I guess
he's got Spider-Man 4 coming up, which I think is going to be in between the movies.
Well, I think it's happening simultaneously. I read it today. I guess that was surprising. A friend sent me a tweet from somebody that Spider-Man will take place at the same time.
Oh, kind of like Ant-Man 2 did, where they happen at the same
time. Correct, right, exactly.
So
which is why, which is why we don't see Spider-Man. So okay, right. I buy that. No, I guess it's just, and I guess listen, Thunderbolts. I guess who cares? Whatever. I just don't see it. They're so useless in this kind of vibe and world. It just doesn't make any sense. They can't fight nobody. What's the point? Namor is interesting. How's he going to fit into this? I don't know.
I guarantee you for a fact. I'll tell you right now.
Shuri makes sense.
Letitia Wright is going to die. Okay. Shuri's going to die.
Really?
I put money on it.
Wow.
Shuri's going to die, but M'Baku's going to live.
Oh, he ain't going nowhere.
M'Baku is
very pissed.
Money in the bank, but Shuri for sure is going to die.
Wow, she's going to get axed. Okay.
I feel like Shuri's going to die. I feel like a lot of the Thunderbolts are going to die, primarily Ghost, Red Guardian. Unfortunately, I think the Sentry's going to die too. You're going to get all those people wiped out.
I think the Sentry might be he's more useful than Thunderbolt.
He's super useful, but
right, I think and this grand battle, whatever is coming up, he makes sense to stick around.
I think power-wise, he's going to die because Doctor Doom is going to use him, and that's how he's going to die as part of his plan.
Okay,
that's how I think he's going to die.
Chris Hemsworth, I think, dying.
Chris Hemsworth is not going to die. No, listen. Let's be respectable here.
No,
let's be honest.
I was throwing out there. I didn't say.
I think the Fantastic Four, or at least Pedro Pascal for sure.
Going nowhere, dude.
Pedro Pascal in Secret Wars. Pedro Pascal was Mr. Fantastic. He is the Liption, not the Liption. The key factor that ends up saving the whole universe.
Oh, so he's not dying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so Mr. Fantastic, Pedro Pascal for sure lives.
Oh no, okay, he even dies. Oh no,
no. He's super. I don't know.
Listen, Fantastic Four ain't going nowhere. They just brought him out. They're not gonna get rid of him.
Right.
It's not happening.
But I'm telling you, Shuri's gonna die. A lot of the Thunderbolts are gonna die. All the X-Men are gonna die, except for Channing Tatum. He's gonna stay on. But the rest of the X-Men are all gonna get wiped out.
Oh yeah, this is the last we'll see these particular.
Yeah. All they're going to get wiped out. Channing will survive until the end. When Secret Wars, when they reboot, he's going to bow out. He's going to be transformed along with this universe. He's going to be one of those characters. But everyone else is getting wiped out. Ant-Man, dead.
He's gone.
Dead. Ant-Man dead. Ant-Man dead. Yeah.
He would be the one who would not be surprised if they go that route. I think he's toast. It's interesting. I'm kind of curious how all this sets up because. I really wish they would have just brought in new X-Men and not the old ones.
I get it, but this is the official final chapters of everything that led to this.
I
and
guess.
then after Secret Wars, it's the new.
They introduced the Kelsey Grammer a bit, so it's not like it just comes out of left field. So that's fine, right? I can deal with that. So I think we'll see that world, which will surprise me because if you see that world, Jessica Rainbow was there, wasn't she?
She was.
Was she introduced in the cast? That's weird. That's not like a name you want to keep secret, right? Oh my god. So okay, whatever. Maybe she left. I don't know. So I was kind of odd not to see her name up there because of that connection with Kelsey Grammer. So listen, it's not. We'll see. And listen, the X-Men thing is cool, right? Of course, X-Men versus Marvel. I assume that's what's going to happen. I guess
I
guess
it's
maybe.
gonna be the beta version of X-Men versus Avengers.
Right.
I
Yeah.
feel
It
like
won't be. Yeah.
we'll get a better version a couple years down the road, but this is sort of like the goodbye to X-Men versus Avengers.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But that said, we're running out of time. Unfortunately, new systems. We're gonna tweak this.
We're all working. We're learning. We're learning.
But that's it. We'll jump more into this later on. I'm sure we're gonna get more news and we'll figure all this out. And but that being said, those are the nuggets for the week.
Guys, thank you so much for all your love and support. We appreciate all that. Don't forget to follow us on all the things. Don't forget to dangersquad.com. My name is Eric Da Silva. This has been Jose Romero. We have been quickly doing Nerdsplaining. And if you don't know, now you know. Boom.
Peace.